Cultural role in international relation, that is the concept very clear that cultural strengthening and supporting cooperation and a good relation among the countries. And in international relation, normally we have two actors. One is the state actors, which the government actors, and secondly is the non-state actors, that is the people. That's why in cultural law, that is not G by 2G or state with state, but I would like to explain that in cultural relation, the main problem is how people to people contact. Why? And to people contact is very important. Okay. The objective of the activities of cooperation and collaboration. First of all, we say that cultural activity must build the social solidarity to express the idea and common spirit for the peaceful coexistence. Peaceful coexistence is the concept very common in international relation. How we can living together in the difference. And secondly, culture also can build the mutual trust for maintaining peace and international harmony. Why and what? Why and what cultural activity? Why? Because cultural activities are sharing, developing, preserving the culture. I want to show you what is the meaning of sharing and developing and preserving the culture. When I was in India in last week, we found that our culture is rather than the same, and we believe that India is the source of the Indonesian culture, especially in Java. And also, India is like mother of culture or mother of land for the Javanese culture especially, because we refer Mahabharata and also Ramayana as reference for moral behavior and our attitudes. This is a very surprise for Indians because they just not know that it is really come from India, although there are many differences. And what cultural ethics is important because there are the men speaking and there are the men doing on all aspects of the life. It means that we have collaboration, partnership, or cooperation, relationship. That is because we need the speaking and we need doing together. For example, collaboration of the art performance. I have some friends from Mumbai, she is artists and also lecturers in the institution of art. And we meet not in India or Indonesia, but we meet in Transylvania, Romania, when Dracula was born. But now I think we can make a collaboration in India or in Indonesia at the same time. And also collaboration on art and cultural activity like dance, on fine art, on ICT. Yeah. Last week I met somebody come from New Delhi, from your city, Mr. Udaraga. He tries to make design and for the for the internet and the imaging of the figure, special modern figure like animation. And also I met somebody who comes from the India, the West, Mr. Rajit. He works in architecture, and also he tries to make design for puppet. And also we have collaboration on science, like education, for example, for conference, and also research together, research ensemble between ASEAN members and India. And I think that is a very important thing that we have to show what is called local genius. Local genius in several areas: Indonesia, Malaysia, Brunei, Singapore, Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam. We have not anymore to know about what happened in the countries because we not enough the information about all the countries of ASEAN. That's why at this time we started to realize this idea like in film or in festival, in books, etc. Also, we did maybe workshop on culinary rehabilitation and conservation of heritage. Yeah, this is my experience in Western Europe. Every people in all Europe, Eastern Europe, or Western Europe, trying to rehabilitate the heritage, and it is also meeting many people from different countries. Next. Yes, the conceptual is that activities in communication. Why communication? Because communication is share of symbol, share of meaning, share of ideas, share of information, share of value, share of behavior and experiment. Well, I would like to translate what is two-people contact, India and ASEAN partnership can do several realizable programs. First of all, we have culinary festival, and secondly is artist and resident. Let's go with like on artist and resident. This is our activities in Romania to show that the people and people contact is very important. We have no sound, please. That is directly the people of Japan trying to do the batik. Thank you. Okay. And the last film City and the Puppet Festival in India, in Bangalore, Karnataka State of India, yeah, I think the Puppet Festival, please. This is the Bangalore City in India. Until 10th January, we host together with the people from many countries, from Sri Lanka, from Japan. Just 1 minute finish. Don't worry, this is only 1.5. This is puppet shadow from Indonesia. And the title is Arjuna Viwaha. And here is our activity in Moscow, Russia. You say the people will come to the Maya or the puppet studio in Moscow. Very interesting to see how the wayang is. And we play with the local people. This is the Russians. I teach them to do gamelan, and after that we play together. I think that is our idea for India and ASEAN relationship. This is a beautiful girl from Moscow. Very beautiful, no?
Sekarang Indonesia menjadi sih budayanya kayak tidak aja templengannya dulu. Paling cewek juga suka itu dia suka ngobrol. Iya, jadi intinya kan iya kan. Tapi kan sekarang dari yang suka kan kalau contoh
I think if there is a little time required for that, in that case, I think I'll ask the other speaker to come first, and then you can follow. Sorry for the change.
bukan udah deket kan.
Okay. So the next speaker will be Dr. Dong Jampi Tin Suk, Deputy Director General of Performing Arts Department, Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism, Viet Chin, from Laos.
His Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure for me to be here today to participate in the second international conference, Cultural and Civilizational Link between India and Southeast Asia. I would like to take this opportunity to express my sincere appreciation to the Indian mission, to ASEAN, incorporated with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Indonesia, and the ASEAN India Center for organizing this significant conference. I would like to emphasize that the long-standing historical and cultural community, the civilizational similarities and the geographical proximity are truly a dynamic engine generating the rapid progress in the process of ASEAN-India cooperation. In the period of almost 3 decades, the interaction between ASEAN and India has reached the main achievement, starting from sectoral dialogue partner in 1992 to full dialogue partner in 1995, followed by ASEAN-India Summit in 2002 and East ASEAN Summit in 2005. I am pleased to note that ASEAN and India are planning to carry out commemorative activities throughout the year 2017 in a variety of areas, including political, economic, culture, youth, and tourism. To celebrate the 25th anniversary of ASEAN-India dialogue relationship, as informed in the 18th ASEAN-India Summit in Hanoi in 2016. I do hope that our today's conference would provide a good opportunity for both sides to further enhance ASEAN-India cooperation, particularly in the area of culture. ASEAN and India have a background in historical, social, and cultural similarities. And through shared borders, both sides have shared the benefits in promotion of peace, stability, and cooperation for mutual benefits in the regions. Over past years, ASEAN and India have promoted greater awareness and appreciation of each other's traditional and contemporary culture through establishment of an autonomous ASEAN-India Foundation to facilitate exchange and linkage programs in the area of creative and performing arts, cultural education, conservation and management of culture, and archaeological heritage, cultural enterprises, and creative industry. ASEAN and India have encouraged the study, documentation, and dissemination of knowledge about the civilizational link between ASEAN and India. As for the historical and civilizational foundation, Laos and India have enjoyed long-standing friendly and mutually supportive relations. India has sent a number of cultural troops and artists to perform in several important events in Laos, which provided opportunity for the cultural exchange for both sides. Mr. Chairman, please allow me to share with you some cultural similarities and information about Laos folk performing arts link between Laos and India, as well as some ASEAN member states. Next. Laos is a landlocked country with almost 7 million people, including various ethnic groups, share borders with China, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, and Myanmar. As Laos has several ethnic groups, it is full of cultural richness, such as indigenous music, traditional dance, colorful costume, with unique lifestyle. Most Lao folk performing arts occur in conjunction with public events, including cyclical rites, Buddhist and national festivals, such as religious belief and expressive of daily life that refer to all kinds of performing material and expression. Shared within various groups defined by the ethnicity and cultural practices. Next. Such as Bun Pimai, Lao New Year Festival in April, Rocket Festival in May, and Bun Katin Festival of presenting gift to the monk in November. Next. Laos has a variety of performing arts, including all kinds of creative and symbolic forms found in verse, song, prose, tempo, house, architects, weaving, dance drama, music, and legends in the Lao literature. Next. Poetry and architects such as temples, traditional houses have their identities, as well as dances, music is also richness. Next. Especially the folk kaplan accompanied by care, which is the most distinctive Lao musical instrument. It is used to accompany molam, kaplan, which is singing and dancing or playing the melody of different tribes, and also those of modern music or in the orchestra with other instruments. In the various traditional dance, the most prominent is lampo, cycle dance, which is the most popular among Lowland residents as a form of social entertainment. Next. Lao folk songs, kap and lam in Lao language are the two main types in which a variety of lyrics are sung to a simple melody with the substance related to the people's livelihood. This is particularly common in the rural areas. Next. As for Lao folk theatre, it is singing theatre or language in Lao language, Lao opera. It is a unique blend of popular theatres and some poetry performed among Lao-speaking people of rural Southeast Asia for a wide range of social and religious purposes. As the traditional medium for popular education, its primary function has been to preserve the cultural identity of the Lao ethnic by reenacting ancient myths, local folk legends, and moral tales based on the ultimate lives of the Buddha. Next. Lao Ramayana, or Palak in Lao language, is also unique in which it was
current cultural relation between India and Vietnam. And I hope that my perspective in this presentation will partly offer Professor Bernadette some contemporary aspect of the cultural and civilizational linkage between India and Southeast Asian countries. And the logo you see on the PPT, on my PPT, actually is a winning award from a logo design contest just took place in Vietnam in 2016. And in this 2017, Vietnam and India celebrate their 45 years of establishment of the culture of the diplomatic relation, 10 years of the strategic partnership, and the first year of the comprehensive strategic partnership. However, it was not totally the landscape of the cultural relation between India and Vietnam, as well as other ASEAN countries. In relation with India culture, Vietnam and India share a common cultural trait several centuries ago. And from a historical perspective, we have research sanctuary as well as many other archaeological remains released and sites along the area of the south central of Vietnam as well as in the south of Vietnam. We have the Cham culture, the kingdom of Champa in of Vietnam, where Champa kingdom and Phu Nan kingdom used to exist. But those kind of folk songs was studied, proof that had the origin of the Cham performing music folk song. And today, along with the diplomatic politics, and economic relationship between India and Vietnam. We also try to perform a lot of many efforts in order to strengthen the cultural relationship between two countries. So this is a brief, very brief history of the relation between India and Vietnam. And here I would like to introduce you some main pillars in the comprehensive relation between India and Vietnam, including national defense and security, politics, economy, science and technology, human resource development, and particularly the cultural cooperation. For last decades, both countries perform a lot of cultural program, exchange program, and activity, include the Indian and Vietnamese studies. Now we also have an Indian Study Center established in Hanoi. We also have several cultural exchange events between two countries. They take turns to take place in both Vietnam and India, such as the film festival, photography exhibition, or yoga festival. And we also have an Indian Culture Center in Hanoi. It was established in 2014. And this year we have Indian Film Festival in Vietnam and Vietnam Film Festival in India in order to celebrate the diplomatic relationship between two countries. And especially we have a project, an international project, to conserve and restore the Cham monuments in Vietnam, as well as many other academic activities such as workshop and conference. And I would like to a little bit introduce you to a change in the way Vietnamese Communist Party and Vietnamese government to look at the role of cultural and cultural international cooperation. For many years, actually, cultural, especially the traditional cultural heritage, are the area that are always inactive in the context of Vietnam. The government of Vietnam has to put a lot of money and effort in order to preserve and to protect our heritage. And for the last several years, we have a little bit change in our perception on the role of cultural burden area of our national development. But it actually is a driving force for our economic growth, such as its role as a resource to develop the creative and cultural industry. So, consequently, the change in our perspective on the role of culture offer the change in the way we look at the role of the international cooperation between countries. As our colleague here addressed, there's a lot of meaningful symbol, such as strengthen the mutual understanding between countries for the international economic growth, or play as the role of soft power of each country. So under that changing context of the way Vietnamese government to look at the role of international cultural cooperation, we revised several cultural relations with different countries, between Vietnam and different countries, and we had some change in our approach in working on the program and activities in cultural exchange. And for example, extension, we would like to see some change in the way we cooperate with other in field of culture, from the classic culture cultural activity and programs such as exchange between countries in field of heritage preservation, traditional performing art festival, etc., to more contemporary and creative industry-oriented programs such as the films. I just that in India have excellent film industry, such as in the field of visual arts, or design, or software, game, applied craft, or pop music, etc. And the second shift we would like to see in our cultural relation with other countries is the town hall. I just mentioned with you about the Cham project, the Cham Monument project. Actually, that project is a project operated and subjected by Indian government since 2014, and we have MOU with India to do that project. However, due to some difficulties, we haven't started yet, except one short survey performed by the Indian archaeological expert. And we really expect to both countries to respect the time we set on the MOU in order to proceed this kind of project. The other change we would like to see is the diversification of the activity and programs from the expert, extreme, technical assistant, from the technology provision, the governance strengthened between two countries in field of culture, or even the presenter mechanism for cultural and goods trading between two countries. Another perspective we would like to see is the sustainability of the program and activities between in the cultural exchange between two countries. In fact, we have such as a film festival. However, it only takes place whenever we have the celebration. We would like to see it more annual event in order to provide more mutual understanding, especially for the younger generation of both countries, to understand the culture of India and Vietnam not regularly, in order to have the better efficient in the cultural exchange. So here again, the logo is also another idea for the cultural exchange activities between two countries. In order to have this type of logo, some artists have to think further about the relationship between two countries in order to create this logo. And I think this is a very creative suggestion for our initiative in the field of cultural relations. I hope that some of my present some of my ideas would be open to further discussion with you in regarding to the creativity in the culture and civilizational linkage between India and ASEAN countries. Thank you.
Thank you. I think some of those suggestions are very useful, and particularly in the contemporary context. Now, I think the next speaker in our list is Ms. Niharika Gupta. She is Director, Sahapadia, Media.
Shaped the course of economies and sometimes of dynasties, and led to the adaptation of systems of governance and the coin of social ceremonies. Port towns, courts, monastic centers, and shrines provided contexts for a continuous cultural cross-fertilization traceable in localized devotional practices as well as grand temple complexes, in philosophical, literary, and theatrical transcreation, and in the interpenetration of languages and of textile traditions. These linkages would be recognizable, if not fully comprehensible, to the of growing numbers of Indians traveling to Southeast Asia, but they would be perceived from the vantage point of a world that is no longer connected in the same way. For colonial rule severed these exchanges, and at the same time, it created new contexts for entwined economic and political fortunes, with people migrating to work on plantations and at mines, and as soldiers, moneylenders, and civil servants. Colonialism was also responsible for some commonalities in our experience, from the everyday environment of urban forms and institutions to the experiences of the world wars. And while the course of anti-imperial struggles took different forms, these led to the renewal of conversations between the peoples of our countries, as did other movements for change in politics and the arts. Even while reviving local folk traditions, Rabindranath Tagore absorbed influences from Indonesian dance, as we know, while modern academies like the Pathkhande Museum in India attracted innovators like W.T. Amardev of Sri Lanka, who were also pan-Asian in inspiration. Here again, however, the histories subsequent to decolonization have led to breaks in these interactions and a measure of forgetfulness about them. This is not to overlook the numerous scholarly and popular studies, exhibitions, and conferences convened in ASEAN countries, Australia, the USA, and India, on the histories of exchange of spices and dyes, the diffusion of ideas and beliefs, technique and design, as well as on histories of both high school and undergraduate students. For school students, they would receive a richer and more inclusive imagining of the past than that which is confined to current state boundaries. They would see how the cultural diversity within and between our countries has always made for creative interchange between, to take just a few examples, Sanskrit and Old Javanese and Balinese, and Sanskrit and Tamil. They would learn, as again one of the papers in the last session brought out, how we need to look closely at the arts as sources essential to reconstruct our past connections, and they would learn to recognize the fluidity of the categories of oral traditions, textual traditions, and visual arts traditions in the pre-modern world. For undergraduates, would be able to situate developments in local politics within inter-regional dynamics. I think that's something Professor Shiv Kumar touched on, the relations with the micro and the macro level. Whether we are speaking of Erlanger's rise to power in the time of Rajendra Chola, or of how Iran and the Indian subcontinent mediated relations between the Arab world and Southeast Asia. Comparative studies would also make undergraduates aware of the possibilities of